Ladypreneurs on Fire Freedom Seekers Tuesday live training. And today I have a special guest, and I admire her enormously. Why? Because I spoke to her in April, last April, beginning of April, for the summit, the Mompreneurs on Fire. And after I had spoken to her, I knew that I could never complain about time anymore. I will explain you why, because she has 10 children, 8 and she are her own children, and 2 she adopted, but I'm sure she will talk a little bit about it. But not only that, she also is a family entrepreneur. She has a business with her, a martial art business with her husband. She has her own online business. She works still, I think, 16 hours a week, but I can be mistaken for somebody else. And she just started college. So please, if you complain that you don't have a time, then wait for what she has to share, because this is amazing. So with no further ado, I'm going to add Rosella to the stream. So Rosella, please, there she is. Hi, Rosella. Hi. So tell us, how are you? Tell us a little bit about you. How are you doing? We just had a little bit time before the interview. It went a little bit fast, so I want to hear all about you. What's up?
Sure. So I am 44 years old. I currently reside in Colorado. My husband is retired military. We have, I say 10 because there's 2 that we also have extra that we took in. So technically I have birthed 8 of those children. And then the other 2 I did not, but I love them with all my heart, and they are just as much as everybody else.
Yeah.
I work outside of the home as well. I'm normally actually working at least 6 days. Sometimes I say 6.5 days because I still work on Sunday, but maybe more like a half a day. And I help people recoup money that they've lost because of a lot of things that have happened over, the years. Some people just kind of dip on their bills, and some people really just run from them because they can't afford it, or they feel they have to pay everything in full and they don't have the finances for it. So I'm kind of like the mediator for that, which I really enjoy because I'm not kind of like that bill collector that goes all this crazy stuff.
You say you're a mediator, but you do that for a special reason, because when I remember correctly from April, you said so many mediators do it in the, okay, you pay now, otherwise, and you try to find a solution for them. Isn't that true?
Yeah. And I just really, I think I'm more taken into consideration. Like, I know what it's like. I have a big family. I've been in plenty of situations where I didn't have the funds for things, or you had to pick and choose what bills to pay, or, what, we were going to be eating for the week, or something, because we didn't have, that budget for great things, or staying home and not going out. I mean, there's just so many things. And I think it takes a really good experienced person to know that. Because you have more compassion for the people, and you understand. You can't say, "Oh, this is the only thing you can pay." That's ridiculous. Anybody would take any amount of payment. So that's true. So I do that, and I literally will do that the whole week. Sometimes I really do get burned out on it, and I'll take some time to stay home and do things that I need to do. But I do that, and then in addition to that, I have my online business, obviously.
And you're doing well.
That I do, and I love that 100%. I believe I was really, I'm not going to say pressured, but I felt more pressured in my previous company because, those numbers were really important to upline. They were really important to teams and stuff like that. And then towards the end of the month, I had my phone next to me all the time, and it was like really, pressure to get those numbers in. And if you didn't, you kind of felt like, man, I'm a failure this month, next month, now you're hitting it hard the next month, and you're consistently doing it so much. I understand the sacrifice of it because you want to get to a certain point, but there's also such thing as over-sacrificing, I think, to where you should be able to do things on your own pace. And at least here, I have that. I can, balance my family. I can balance my outside work. I can balance our other thing, which I haven't mentioned yet, but we do have a family-ran gym.
Mhm.
We do Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. We have a judo program. We have a Muay Thai program. We have a women's Muay Thai program. So we have a lot of things that go on in our own, and we don't pay people that for it. It's just us. It's myself. It's my husband. It's our children. So it's all of us just as a family that does this business.
Yeah.
And they've been doing it for so long. That's what they wanted to do. It's their passion. They love it. So that's what we pursued when it came to what business are we going to do? What are we going to do as a family that can bond us, that we can give back to the community, that we can do for other people too. And that's what it was. So we have that as well. So we have a lot of things that
How
go
do you
on.
get organized, Rosella? Because your youngest is 3. So you have 4 under 10, I believe, and 4 over 16, if I...
So we have 4 older children, which one of them actually lives in California. She's no longer with us in our household. She's in California. And then, so we technically have 3 of the older, but we also have, our extra kiddo. So he's there too. So I'll just say 4. And then we have 4 younger. But there's a nice 10-year gap between, the last of the 4 and then the beginning of the younger 4. So I will say that I really think that the glue to most of this is just literally our family. It's the kids. This schedule would probably not work or be, the best to what I could do as a mom or a parent or even my husband if we didn't have the older kids that were there helping, So, I mean, they are so great. It's almost like a complete running household. They're getting up, they're doing breakfast for the smaller kids, they're taking the smaller kids a bath. I'm at work at that time. Dad is studying for the lessons for the day. We have all this stuff going on. Our son will get to the gym like an hour and a half earlier. That's where he does his college work. The other ones are holding the fort down at home. After I leave from work here, I go straight to the gym, and then I'm meeting parents, signing up students. I mean, it's all really just a nice working gear.
Okay.
But I guess the downfall, if something was to happen to that gear, everything's chaos because there's so many people in the household. So so, don't throw a wrench in our gear because then everything's crazy. But the schedule really works. I really do think it's a lot. It might be a lot more than what most people have on the plate. But I do think that we're able to work in this manner because we have so many people that are helping, and pitching in with the kids and stuff like that. So I really think it works well for us. And so for the people that have a little less, I actually think it might be easier if we can pull this off with literally like 13 people that are in, the household. Plus, we're not even including pets yet. I think it's doable. It's very doable. You just have to have the mindset for it, obviously.
I just wanted to ask that because several of you are competing. You started jiu-jitsu for the first time in your life, if I saw that right. You started training. Is the mindset of competing also something that helps you when you want something, when you want to compete, because your children and your husband are very good in their thing? That mindset, that must help too. Is that a fact? Is that a thought?
Yeah. So I think the last time I talked to you, I was talking to you about excuses, how, the time technically was an issue. I would say, I don't have time to work out. I can't, I have all this stuff going on. And I called myself out, on your own live saying that's a bunch of crap. I know I have time to work out. We literally own a gym. I am there the whole time. It's not really that I don't. It's just an excuse, as to why I haven't. And so when I finally, the kids talk to me so much and they're like, come on, let's do it. Come on, let's do it. And I'm like, okay. My husband's like, come on, you just got to get in there. Do it for yourself. Do it for yourself. And I'm like, okay. So finally I got in there and we started a new program where it's kind of like CrossFit or cross training, but it more helps with their, still their cardio and actually getting healthy and, all that stuff like that. And the first class came and I'm like, okay, just do it. Don't, because I noticed that whenever they asked me to do it, I was more prone to saying no. Like it made me feel uncomfortable for some reason, kind of like you're calling me out. You're putting me on the spot and I didn't like it.
Okay.
So they hadn't said anything yet. And I'm like, okay, I'm just putting on my leggings. I'm like, all right, let's go. And they're like, you're going to do it? I'm like, yeah, I'm going to do it. So just don't ask me questions. Just like, let's just go.
Yeah.
And I did it. And I felt so great, And then my husband's like, want to train today? And I'm like, you know what? Yeah, I'm going to train today. But I already had the adrenaline from working out. So I was just in it, So I know I can do it, and it's not too hard for me to step off, the mats to talk to a parent, during it, or because that is my role, as admin and, half owner, that's what I do. So I can't use that as an excuse. Like, what if someone walks in the door and what if I need to sign someone up? Well, great. You can stop doing what you're doing and then go do it.
I can ride it sweaty. That's no problem. And that's a good ad for your.
You're joining them.
Yeah. But Rosella, I'm so wondering because you do all these things, and you just told me before this interview how your family business. Because last time we spoke, you explained that you moved because the location where you were, there was something, and you had to move. You're now in a center where are shops and so on, and now it took off again because it had already worked very good before the pandemic. So you do that. You work to help people in financial problems. You have 10 children. Why did you start an online business? What was the reason? Was there a special reason to have something solely for yourself, or was there another reason? Do you mind sharing that?
Yeah. So I really never had it in my head about the whole thing. I'm going to be honest. I was very just naive about the whole thing. I didn't even know about them, believe it or not. Weird, right? I thought Tupperware was just a company. I thought, I knew of some companies, but nothing like that. And then my husband and I moved to Tennessee. And when I got there, ended up being pregnant finally with her. This is where we start the new kiddos.
Okay.
He was still military, still, doing all that stuff. But I had a friend that told me about a company, and then I guess I never really had a thought of what most people think. Oh, pyramid this and scam this. And I never knew anything about nothing. I've never heard of any of those things. So for me, I'm like, well, that's cool. I can just do something from home too for a little extra. No big deal. I like this kind of stuff. That's easy. I thought initially that'd be easy for me to do. I can do that.
Yeah.
And so I just jumped in it, learned some stuff. That company didn't make it right off the top. There was some things that happened, I guess. And then I followed the person to another one. And then I was still just kind of learning, I guess. I wasn't really into it, but just kind of learning the business in the back burner. And then ended up finding out about the previous actual, I would say that would be my starting company. Found out about that one, really hit the floor with it, finally just kind of got some confidence to say, okay, I think I know enough about it now to where I can actually do what I need to do. And to believe it or not, even to that point, I still never heard those words. So for me, I'm just thinking, okay, well, I'm just going to, do what I do to make some extra cash, but I loved it. And I fell in love with the whole thing, and the people and just everything, products, the money, how it worked, so for me, that was just like, I've always liked it, but I think it sparked my interest more because I've never actually worked for a company. It's really weird.
Yeah.
I was in school. During school, I volunteered to do some stuff with the Kern High School District. It was like the maintenance and operations department, so I helped some people there. And then from there, I kind of tiptoed a little bit in sales where I did telemarketing.
Mhm.
And even
Mhm.
on that, I thought it was always cool. So I've always been in some kind of a salesy type,
Okay.
thing.
Mhm.
Then after that, there was just a pizza place that I absolutely loved, and I just wanted to do it, for no darn good reason.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And uh, then I finally actually worked, which was for a loan company.
Mhm.
And my friend at the telemarketing company told me about that.
Mhm.
I jumped in, and the guy says, "Okay, well, I'm not going to actually do an interview." And he's like, he picks up a pencil, and he's like, "You see this pencil?" He's like, "Sell it to me." And I was like, "Sell you a pencil?" He's like, "Sell it to me." I was like, I was totally confused, but I just did it, and I just ran with it, did it. He's like, "Okay, you're hired."
Oh.
Um, so I was a loan officer, and I did that for about a year, and I was
Mhm.
ranked like top 5 in the nation of
Mhm.
doing that. So it's just always been my calling to do sales. But to me, it's
Yeah.
not. When people say sales, they make it seem like it's just some weird. I don't
Yeah.
know. Like,
Yeah.
it's not like a salesy pitch. A sales doesn't technically have to be bad. For me, it's
No.
always been great. It's how you present the sale. If you're being
Mhm.
a scammy person or a pushy person or whatever, but if you're doing things just because you love it or you love the product or you love the company,
Mhm.
in both situations, it turns out really great.
Yeah.
So I just moved into it, and that's how I got it started. But if you think about it, people really have sales experience in everything.
Yeah.
Your
When you
lives
you
are
you you
kind
sold
of,
yourself to your husband all those years ago, that's also sales. We are in sales. When
yeah.
we that the people, I hear a lot, I don't like to sell. But and others say, okay, but it's not selling, it is sharing. At the end of the story, it is selling because somebody pays for
Yeah.
something that you offer, a product, a service, or whatever.
Yeah.
So, how did you find your superpower? Because that is how what you are what you wanted to, what you are going to talk about. How can somebody find, because we cannot copy somebody else, you have to have that yourself. How can you
Yeah.
find how did you find your superpower?
I think mine was more of a trial and error. They
Okay.
say follow the people that you want to be like, follow the people that have the finances you want to have, find the people that want, that are so great in their business and they're doing so well. Those are the people you want to associate yourself with.
Mm-hmm.
So I did that, but I thought you also had to try to be like that person, you
Okay.
know?
Mm-hmm.
Um, and I would try that, and I thought, I just sound dumb. Like, that's
Mm-hmm.
just not me. No one even
That's not
knows me
me. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
likes that at all. Um, but I tried that, and I think, I became a different person, but I was coming off as a different person, and people
Mm-hmm.
were kind of like, oh, no, thanks. No, I'm not really interested. And I just it didn't work for me, obviously.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And then, but the thing is when I was actually myself, I would even actually have people that said, "Oh, well, you cuss too much," or, "Is that really professional?" Or,
Mm-hmm.
"Oh, why are you wearing that shirt? I have a tank
Yeah.
top on today. Why
Yeah.
are you wearing that shirt?
Yeah.
During a live, or why are you, you have a lot of people that are also very good at criticizing you,
Yeah.
but what I've learned though is that you will have more followers being yourself
Mm-hmm.
versus losing all those people from trying to become someone else. Like, oh, you're trying too much to be like her, or why are you talking like that? You don't talk to me like that. You're my
Yeah.
friend. What are you doing?
Yeah.
It turns so many people off. You're always going to have certain ones that don't agree with how you are or what you're saying or how you're dressing or
Mm-hmm.
stuff like that, but your success really is going to come from you just being you, branding your own self, and that is it. All your superpowers will 100% follow you from that point. At that point, if you are good at something, be proud of it, of what it is that you're doing.
Mm-hmm.
I do so good at cooking rice. Okay, I have this amazing Spanish rice dish, and I take pride in teaching the kids how to make the rice. It's just rice,
Yeah. Yeah.
but you won't believe how many people are like, "Oh my God, what's your recipe? What is that?" And that's not even um my thing. I really want to push my Modere and I want to push my gym and do all this stuff, but I'm really good at this. I really, and I have people that don't care about my Modere, that don't care about the gym, that don't care about any of that, but I still have friends here in the cooking, world of what I do.
Yeah.
So who cares if they want your business or if they don't want your business or whatever it is? Keep your friends where you have them. They're all going to be interested in something that you do, but that builds and keeps relationships, number one, and everything just kind of comes, after that. But your superpower is kind of like whatever it is you're good at. You don't have one superpower. You have superpowers in so many things. I always say just don't get sidetracked, on it. I'm really good at sales. Great. I'm really good at also the business with our gym. I love the gym. I like having ideas of how to grow it, different things to do. I like to cook. I love doing things like that. I love couponing. People want me to still be in a couponing group, and I'm like, oh, that's too much on my plate. I probably can't do that. That takes a lot of work,
Yeah.
But I love couponing. I'm great at saving money too. So I don't have just one. I like having a lot of superpowers. If you're good at something,
who does couponing? Do you know a famous person that does couponing by any chance? I know one, but do you know that Kourtney Kardashian, she does couponing?
Really?
Yeah. That was in one episode. She likes it, couponing. So, but do you remember what you did before the interview that you did for the summit to ask one word that your audience would describe you? Can you remember what the word was?
I don't remember.
Real. You asked your audience if you can describe me in one word, and they said real. So that is exactly what you are telling now. Real, authentic, be yourself.
I wouldn't even have thought of that, and that's what I portrayed. But I haven't. I didn't even think of that in the last time.
So, and you're building your business next to everything else. And what do you say to people in your business that say, okay, I don't have the time? Do you have tips for them? Because it is easy to say, I have 10 children, I have this, I have that, but everybody has his own thing that for that person is difficult or not in that moment. But how do you deal with that at that moment when somebody says, okay, I cannot do what you do, I don't have the time or whatever?
Right. So I really how do I say this? I think that a lot of people say they can't because of how they perceive how busy they are, right? I have to work from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. By the time I get home, I have zero time because they've kind of already put all that time, in one slot. Then I have to go to bed and I'm done. I have zero time.
Yeah.
But that's actually not true. How many times are people checking their Facebook? How many times are people messaging their friends? How many times are you planning to do something on the weekend? There really is plenty of time in the day. And that's for someone that's doing it by themselves. I can get it. But when people have a husband or people have children, even if they're small children, trust me, those little suckers, they can do things, make it into a game, but they can do things, right? Even some people are even very visual, where they need to write something down to see where they are when it comes to how much time you actually, have. I'm a visual person, but I can kind of also do it in my head, but maybe write something down to say, okay, I'm up at 8 o'clock a.m. Even if you work, and I know people say, well, I'm not a morning, I am not. I am not a morning person. Believe it or not, I do all of this and I don't get up at 8 o'clock in the morning. I used to when the kids went to school, but now they're on some break. And before that they had break. And before that they were online. But I am not a morning person. I do not like getting up in the morning.
You are a middle in the night person, because when I get up, it's in the middle of the night for you, and you are still up.
Morning, like, hey girl, sleep. But that is my time. Okay, so my time, I am a night owl. When the family is sitting there watching, a show, we do family night every night. I normally cannot get, I have to go to sleep because I am tired, or I need to lay down just to kind of gather some thoughts about what I'm going to do the next day and stuff like that. But my work time normally is at night. That's when the kids are kind of winding down. They're starting to watch their, TV. They're doing what they need to do, laying in bed, whatever it is. Sometimes it's not till way later, and that's why I'm doing things at 2:00 in the morning. But I know people are going to get my messages, in the morning, and that's fine.
Yeah.
And I can get to it throughout the day when I'm not doing something. But ask for help. Ask your husband to do something. My kids will cook dinner. They'll do, or sometimes actually cook dinner. They're the ones helping cleaning the house. You don't have to do
everything.
You do not have to. I get it that some moms are kind of like, well, it's not clean unless I clean it. It's not going to be done right unless I do it. Well, teach them.
Yeah.
They will do it. I had so many dang chores when I was growing up.
Yeah.
We would alternate on dishes, and we didn't have a lot of kids. I had 2 brothers. That's it.
Yeah.
Half sister, but we did it, and we did pretty much everything. But my mom was also very tired too. She was a nurse, she came home late at night, a lot of different things. But ask for help if you need to visualize it, and write it down if you need to do that. And try to start getting up a little bit earlier if you need to. I did try that. I had my mentor is Shiloh Ekstrom, so
she's wonderful. She's such an example. When I see her now, how she's growing.
What do I do when I get stuck? I'm like, what do I do? And she would even tell me, you don't have to just, let's just say you get up at 9:00 every day, in the morning. Well, no one's saying just to get up at 6. It's probably going to be hard. That's kind of like quitting nicotine cold turkey, right? You're not going to be able to do it. So she's like, try the next day getting up 30 minutes earlier, just 30 minutes. Next thing you know, your body's going to get used to it. Shoot for another 30 minutes earlier. Next thing you know, you are a morning person, right?
Yeah.
But you have to wake up to it. So getting up earlier, going to bed a little bit later. Try to, not do so much on Facebook. I was really bad at that. I would check my Facebook to see if commented every 2 minutes. Not necessary. No. It's all going to be there.
Yeah.
Do it later. There's a lot of different times that you can do things because I find it, and I can do it.
Yeah.
Taking a nice bath to yourself. You're on your phone. You can follow up messages. There's just so much time in the day. It really is not all taken up with stuff like that, and especially when it comes to helping your family or finances or getting out of debt or starting a business, so you can pass a business on to your kids or anything like that. When you have goals in life, you're not really thinking about being tired.
No.
You're kind of like just go. What's next? What can I do next and stuff. I do think that might be my flaw though, at some point, because I will push myself to a point where I'm exhausted, and I do this thing where I call it a hibernation. I'll hibernate. I'll go to sleep, all of a sudden just pass out early in the morning. The next thing you know, I'm not waking up till the next day, at night. And I have a whole day of sleeping, but then I wake up feeling rejuvenated. I'm like, yeah, let's go.
Yeah.
So you're not here for me today. Where's Rosella? She hasn't posted today. And that's kind of like what I do, but it's every, I don't know, once every 5-6 months or something.
Yeah.
Kind of have a little drill.
Yeah.
But what drives me really is just kind of like the goals. The goals is so important. Especially as you're getting older, you're kind of like, oh crap, I'm going to be 45 next year. That's okay, I need to move a little faster, because in a couple of years I'm not going to be moving faster, and then I'm going to be slower. So just
and
a lot of.
Do you set goals for everything? Do you set goals for your online business, for your martial art business, for your family goals? Do you have goals for everything, or are you really specific on some things?
So this is what I just realized, and I realized it yesterday when I watched yours and Alicia's live. The gym, I have a massive goal for. Okay, I 40 more students, whether that is children or adults. I actually just saw a program today that I'm going to show to my husband, and it's called Adopt a Cop BJJ. And it's kind of like you become an affiliate, right, of a police program.
Yeah.
And you have this program, and these officers get discounted prices. Some get them free. You're training officers, but it's kind of like giving back to the community of police officers for them, obviously, protecting us. But
Yes.
our gym is affiliated with this program. So that might help, right? So I already have that in my head. I saw it today.
Okay.
It's a new vision already, as you can tell.
Yeah.
So there's that. So I do have, like, that goal is what it is. And my husband says, okay, this month we need at least 10 more people. However it is, let's promote on Facebook. Let's do a promotion. Let's do whatever. So those are massive goals that are right there that I really want. My Modere business, on the other hand, I have a goal, but I don't feel so pressured to hit that goal so fast. I am so happy with this company and where I am and the team and the products that it's like I know what's going to happen. I just need to stay consistent with it, and it will happen. So I do have a goal for that, but I don't have like a solid, this date is when I want it.
Okay.
I need to do that, because I had a girl that messaged me. She's a very old friend of mine from back in our old state. She tried to join a different company, and she told this girl, well, this is great. I love it. I love the products. I want to join under you. What do I do? Can you just let me know so I can kind of put it in my schedule, and do it when I have time, or, around the time that I have. The girl turned her down and told her no.
Okay.
And said that she wasn't serious. Well, you're not serious, because you should have this much time. You should have this and this. That means you're not dedicated to building your own business, and just kind of like said all this stuff. And I thought, that is the craziest thing I have ever heard in my life.
Yeah.
You have got to be kidding, because I am successful. I do just fine. There's some days where I don't even post about, the business or the products or whatever. It doesn't mean that I don't love the company.
Yeah.
It doesn't mean that I don't want to build my business or anything like that. So that's one of the ones that I do have a goal for, but you don't have to be so,
Everybody has different goals, huh? You can have a goal, but this can be lower or higher.
That are like that. Some have all the time in the world to spend.
Yeah.
Some, like me, don't have a ton. And yes, you put it in where you can get it in, but you are building. You're doing that. You're just being consistent with it.
Yeah.
So that one I don't really have an actual solid date for. And that's what I loved about your guys' live yesterday, was just how you're happy with it. You're comfortable with the company. You don't have, oh, well, I haven't got that rank yet. What other companies are out there? It's not that feeling. No. And I love not having that feeling or that pressure of knowing that goal's there and, oh my gosh, you better have to hit it. It's not like that. Okay. So that one is different, but there's two different things there. Of course, school and all those things like that. Of course, I have goals for those, but the main thing at this point, if I visualize it how I should, is that the gym is going to get us to where we are secure, comfortable, and it will free up more time for the other things goals. That want to do. Yeah. So really, it's just kind of like your priorities of what it is that you really want, to do in the long run, and what's going to get you there.
To adapt to the situation that you're in, and then afterwards you can always change the things that you're doing. So, Rosella, we already have to wrap it up. I'm sorry, the time flies. I can't speak hours to you, but you have so many things to tell that are so interesting and so valuable. So I'm really sorry that the time is already almost up. So Rosella, finding your superpower is important, especially when you are very busy, but also keep to yourself, be real. Is that a little bit, when I recap what you said, is that what you're really trying to say, or do you have some things to add to that?
No, I think that is just the number one takeaway from the whole thing, is just when you are yourself and you're being yourself and you're just 100%, comfortable with being that and knowing that that's going to get you where you need to be. That is always great. There's nothing wrong with making yourself better, you know, doing some positivity things, doing some self-development, all that will make you better. It's just not changing you. Do you know what I'm saying? It's just getting to who you are already, which is what you kind of want to do. You always want to make yourself better throughout the years. That's the goal in life. Obviously, you learn, but you never want to actually change yourself. You know,
Your
when
core
you're just,
self.
that's what people love. You have this many followers, it's for a reason. You know, that's what it is. If they didn't like you, they wouldn't be on your your Facebook or your social media. But continue being yourself, have confidence in what it is that you're doing, find your visualization of what it is you want to do in life. Really shoot for it and kind of see what's going to get you there, you know, faster to help relieve some time for the other things that you want to do. And just never stop dreaming about goals, because you can have more than one goal. As you can tell, I have so many goals, and I will get them. Like, I will 100% get all the things that I want to do.
I'm convinced,
in
100%.
But I love knowing too that when I am gone from this amazing world, right, my children are going to have businesses. They are going to know what it is that they need to do. They're all going to be financially okay. You know, they're not going to be like my old family, you know, or my actual family, in another state and struggling and not having businesses, or in jail, or, you know, on drugs, or who knows what. Like, that life, they're not going to know even what it is, or how to even process that. And that is what I want. That is like my long-term, you know, goal, and what keeps me going, and kind of keeps giving me all the great things that I think about every day. So, motivation.
Okay, that is so powerful. Thank you, thank you, thank you for your time. Thank you for being also so, how do I say it? You were sick last week, and yesterday you said, I can come on whenever you want, and I had to reschedule something because my guest from today, she couldn't make it, and you said, okay, I jump in, no problem. So I'm even more grateful that that you are you, because thank you very much. This was awesome.
Yeah, you're welcome.
And I wish you all the success, and please keep posting those pictures from the little ones. The little ones, they are so cute. And I hope to talk to you soon.
Thank you.
Stay real, because that is really you, and I love that. So thank you very much for your time.
You're very welcome.
Have a great day today.
You too. Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye-bye. So wasn't she amazing? I was already so happy when I talked to her in April, and I knew I had to find a moment to schedule with her. So find your superpower is really finding out who you are, and showing that to the people. Don't copy other people. Don't try to invent something that you are not, but show your real you, and that will really help you make your business stronger, but also more relatable and more genuine. And that is really what we want. So don't say, I don't have the time. Find the time, because if there is an urgent thing that you have to take care for, you are also going to find your time. So if you want to build a business, if you are serious that you want to share, to make a difference in your life for you and your family, then find the time. 10 minutes here, 15 minutes there, or maybe half an hour there. It is possible. There are 24 hours in a day. You sleep 8 hours. In the case of Rosella, it's only 2, but no, it doesn't. So I cannot function without sleep. I need my 8 hours of sleep a night, but that is different for every person. So find what suits you, what's best for you, and build your business to the level that you really want to do it, because it is possible. And with all these examples of all these amazing women, you will see, you will find something for you too. So for now, I wish you all the best, and I hope to see you next week on episode 10 of the Ladypreneurs on Fire Tuesday training. Bye bye for now, and have a great day. Bye.